Welcome to TINT Yoga. This is the Acro Yoga segment. My name is Jason Nemer, and I'm really happy to share this practice with my two friends, Pascalito and Julia. We are here to demonstrate the practice, and to me, there's really three ways to look at it: the what, the how, and the why. So what Acro Yoga is a combination of acrobatics, yoga, and healing. How to do Acro Yoga is in community, having a base, a flyer, and a spotter. We'll demonstrate that later. And the why is to connect to people. We live in a life now where we're very connected to our electronics, and a lot of us have lost the ability to connect to strangers and to play with each other. So these are the reasons why we're here to demonstrate the practice. This is a beginner-friendly sequence, and there's going to be 10 different sequences that we share. This is front plank, and we're going to start with a little bit of yoga. So you would meet with your partner, and first you want to size up your distance. You want to bow forward and not hit heads. It's not a full contact sport. So they're in a good distance, maybe a little closer. Beautiful. And they'll come to hands in namaskar and just close their eyes, take a few breaths. It's really important in partner practices to still come back to your own mat, still come back to your own breath. Feel where you are on the earth first. You guys can open your eyes. Take a deep breath and bring the arms up. As you exhale, bow forward. Their feet are hip-width apart and their hands will land on their shins. As they inhale, they can lift up and see each other, and as they exhale, bow forward. They'll do this 3 times. A lot of what they're doing is learning how to listen with their eyes, with their breath. This is gaining flexibility in the hamstrings. They'll do it one more time. And as they exhale, the hands come down and they can step back to a plank. So Acro Yoga planks, the feet are together. They want to unify the body. They got a pretty good distance. Let's see if they can give some high fives. I believe in you. There we go. It's a reach, but they've got it. So it's coordination, it's playfulness. After you do that about 5 times, you can lower down. As you inhale, lift up to an upward facing dog, and then push back to a downward facing dog. You can take 3 breaths here. So what we're doing is we're building heat, we're building flexibility, and we're building their ability to move at the same time, to feel each other. You guys can step the right foot forward. You'll ground the back heel down as you inhale and come up to a warrior 1. And again, here for alignment, you want to bring the knee over the heel. The most important thing is that you're breathing. You're allowing the breath to expand and contract. This is filling your body full of energy, full of prana. From the warrior, they can pivot to a goddess pose. The elbows are right alongside the body, the palms face up, and they can go up and down. They can pivot the spine from side to side. And what this is training is what you need for a spotter. Spotter is the one that's going to keep the flyer safe. So this is testing your ability to be like water, to be fluid, to be flexible. You want to keep the spine straight as you do this. Then they'll go to their opposite warrior, facing away from each other, and just take 3 breaths here. It's important to feel not only where your muscles are, but where your bones are. You want to have your shin vertical. You want to have the back leg strong. And the whole time you're allowing the breath to feed you, to fill you. After 3 breaths here, they can come back to a plank. And again, this is feet together for a plank. A lot of what we do in acrobatics is unify the body. They'll lower down to their belly. And then the pinnacle pose is called Frontbird. And they can practice this by lifting the chest up, lifting the feet up. This is a full body activation, so tight is light. The more active you are in the body, the easier it's going to be for you to fly. Just 3 breaths here. This is a very quick sequence. We'll come back to a downward facing dog. And even just a few downward dogs and a few warrior poses are going to help to open the body. The more that we access our flexibility, the less strength we need to support each other. And you'll step the left foot forward. Come back to the warrior and keep cultivating that ability to feel your heat, feel your breath, and also looking for ease. Life's hard enough. Don't make your yoga practice hard. Allow yourself to find the place where you can sink into your poses, sink into your breath. Pivoting to the side, again to a goddess or a sumo squat. Elbows right alongside the body, palms facing up. And this is going up and down, side to side. So in Acro Yoga, the spotter is the most important person for the safety. and also for growing the community. It's not the most glamorous position in acro yoga. You don't get a lot of Facebook likes as a spotter, but it's vital. Coming back to the other warrior. Oh, I missed you so much. There you are again. They're actually married. They actually really love each other. I love them too. Bringing emotion to your practice is also something that is really powerful. So I'd say the first part is aligning the bones, then the muscles, then the breath, then the feelings. We're alchemists in yoga. Lowering back down to a plank. What's up, high fives? What you got? What you got? There we go. I didn't hear anything. There we go. That's what I like. That's it. Lower back down to your belly. A quick up-facing dog. Back to the downward-facing dog. And just like that, the yoga warm-up is done. You can walk the feet forward. Almost done. Hands to the shins. We'll do 3 more pulses here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow forward. Listen to each other's breath. Beautiful. Last one. As you inhale, reach up. Find the length in your body. Bring the hands into prayer. Close your eyes. Appreciate what you're bringing to this partnership. So now that the solo yoga warm-up is done, we'll do partner warm-up. We're going to start with the legs. This is acrofit. So they're going to hold the forearms. They want to find the right distance that their spines can be straight, and they're going to bend their knees and straighten the legs. So what they're doing is they're finding the ability to lean away from each other and the right distance that makes it easy. If this is going well, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can let go of one arm and lean away from each other and do a little twist. Perfect. They're listening to the timing and the depth of their bend, and you can do this for about 30 to 45 seconds. This is going to warm up the legs. It's also going to help you warm up your spine as you twist. These are called squat counterbalances. Perfect. Sehr gut. Now that the legs are warm, we're going to warm up the upper body and the arms. The grip is a reverse hand-to-hand grip. Flyer's fingers will be forward. So Julia will be the flyer first. Pascal takes the grip. Their feet are hip width. Their bodies are straight to start. He's going to bend to receive her weight and then push. It's important to find full range of motion with the arms. Arms bend and extend. The flyer, Julia, is holding her shape as Pascal pushes her away and lets her lean forward. After you do this maybe 5 or 6 times, you can change the grip. This time, Pascal will have the fingers forward. Julia will hold the hands from the outside. She's going to bend to receive his weight and then extend. So here it's important that you're grounded through your legs. This is where your power comes from. And you find your power from your legs through your arms, thinking you can, and then finding that you have a lot of potential from your mind to your body. This is the last of the warm-up exercises. This is for the core. So Pascal is going to lay down. This one's called Around the World. Julia is going to be his anchor. He holds on to her ankles. Pascal is going to lift his legs up, straighten the legs, and the first couple of ranges of motion will be small. Each time that he feels comfortable in his body, he can go a little bit bigger. The legs are staying strong and together. I'll go one more time this round. And then on the second round, he's going to come all the way up, and he's going to show more of an advanced variation where the legs come all the way to the floor, sweep around like a clock, come up, not kicking his wife, not nice, yep, keep the clearance. So this is skill and power, being able to activate the legs, being able to find a range of motion that you have control over. A lot of abdominal exercises in acrobatics are actually to train the legs. That looks great. Well done. So now the warm-up is complete, and we're going to build some of the actions and the foundations we'll need for the peak pose. This is an arch up. So Julia's going to lay face down. Pascal's going to be her anchor now, reaching down for her ankles, pushing down, and Julia's going to arch up and down. So this is building the muscles in the back that you need to lift your chest up. You come all the way down, all the way up. It's not so important how much you lift, it's important that you connect to the muscles that you're going to need to make the final pose. Probably 5 or 6 is plenty to understand how to use those muscles. To continue with the foundations and the actions, the foundation is how the bodies fit together. So Pascal's feet are going to be parallel on my hip bones. The action of the base is to bend and receive. The spotter is going to be in that goddess stance, just following where I'm going. Spotter's like water. So we start in a position where the base's legs are straight, my body's straight, and I'm leaning forward with my arms extended. Pascal's going to bend his knees, we touch hands, and he pushes back. So he doesn't take all of my weight, but he starts to understand what my weight feels like. There's a lot of sensitivity in the hands and the feet. It's not aggressive. There's a softness. There's a patience. And after you do that maybe 5 or 6 times, you'll understand what you're going to need to go up in the air. The next pose is plank on plank, and this is going to teach you how to align your bones in a vertical way. It's important in acrobatics that you learn to support weight with your bones and not your muscles. So Pascal is going to come into a plank, and the first thing he's going to focus on is his shoulders over the wrists. The second thing is his feet are going to be Julia's shoulder width. Julia's going to hold on the calf muscles and bring a pointed toe up to the shoulder. Depending on the length of the flyer and the base, you might adjust where the hands go, but they both want to have the verticality. And as you can see, their bodies are in straight lines. So not only the arms, but from the head all the way through the toes, straight lines. When you find straight lines in acrobatics, everything gets easier. She can step off gently, and that's plank on plank. Good job, guys. The next pose is called GYM RAT. It's helping the base to understand where their legs are vertical and giving support if the hamstring flexibility isn't there. So Julia will help Pascal down again. And here, the foundation is going to be the flyer's forearms side by side. The feet are hip width for the base. The base is going to bend the knees to receive the weight of the flyer and then straighten the legs up. So Pascal's been doing this for a while. His hamstrings are flexible and he can have a straight line, but if your knees are bent and it's difficult for you to hold this pose, you can come down, and this is why we're doing this, to test your hamstring flexibility. We can put a yoga mat underneath the hips, and that way it's going to give support to tilting the pelvis, and having the heels over the hips is the goal. So the reason why we're doing this pose is to help figure out, do you need to have a mat underneath you? Can you find vertical with your legs? The spotter's going to be at the side to support the flyer's safety. So after all the prep work, we're going to go to our peak pose, front plank. Flyer can help the base down. Flyer wants to be close. Feet are going to be hip width. Arms are straight, they look towards each other, they take a deep breath. On the exhale, the base bends and receives. Flyer holds the shape. My hands are underneath to support and spot. It's important there's a straight line through the arms, legs are vertical, flyer's looking forward, holding their shape. Front plank. To come down, base is going to bend the knees. I make sure that the flyer comes down soft. Flyer can help the base up. So if you've mastered the front plank, the next move is the front bird. It creates more freedom for the flyer. Same, flyer helps base down. Spotter, you're at the side. Base, you're going to receive and then extend. Base is going to have to point their toes to help lift the flyer's chest up. If all goes well, there's lightness in the hands and you can lift up one hand at a time. This is called front bird. It's important the flyer's looking up and forward. Base keeps the hands up just in case there's an unplanned dismount, falling forward. Can you guys show what that would look like, falling forward? That way you have the hands to support. To come down, you'll connect hands and lower down. Front bird. Open the base up. You're a very gentle woman. So this will be the last sequence that we do. It's going to be front plank and front bird range of motion. The next episode we're going to shoot is called foot to shin, so stay tuned. You guys know how to get into front plank. That'll be the same. Once you're in the front plank, what the base can do is range of motion by bending and extending the arms and the legs. It's very easy to bend, but it takes some presence to find those vertical lines. So take 2 seconds and find those vertical lines and then try again. If that goes well, you can do it with the hands free. The base is going to keep the hands up to support the flyer. Same. If I'm spotting, what I want to do is keep my hands underneath, one under the legs, one under the belly, and I bend my knees, keep my spine straight. If they're doing that well, they can do swivels. Spotter, you have to dance with it. You can even do swivels with bending. There's a lot of different possibilities. We'll show a few more. Come back to hands, take 1 foot away. So one of the definitions of range of motion is taking points of support away and doing the same thing. So on this side, he's going to do some bending with the one leg. They might even come up and take 1 hand free. So 2 points of support instead of 4. So this challenges the base's ability to balance the flyer and the flyer's ability to hold their shape. Come back to regular front plank and we'll bring it down. And what's important is the quality of your training. So don't do things that are going to be very advanced, that wobble a lot and you can't find your straight lines. Be patient, build your practice over time. These guys have been doing this for years. They make it look easy. So step by step.